How'd you guys like my video? Wanted to show you the real Bible code. So, if you're wondering what that video is about, that's the real Bible code. I give away some 2 ounces today, and hopefully you guys will try this coffee. I do these giveaways because everyone that tries this coffee, they are no longer Kona coffee virgins. You guys are ruined for the rest of your life. Ruined. You guys are ruined. Jules Chest. Everyone from the 21st, your coffee should have been scanned. I don't know what's going on, but it's uh it's definitely getting scanned. I dropped it off a while ago. You're in Tennessee. Nice. You guys like that video? Yeah, the Bible. Crazy. It's 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 written in code. And you're wondering why would there be English in there? It's because of Egypt. It's because of Egypt. It all came from Egypt, where the Ptolemies spoke English. No one believes that yet. One day they might. All right, guys. Let's talk about the coffee, though. I don't want to talk too much about other stuff and get you guys confused. So we're talking about 100% Kona coffee. I got a light Hawaiian giveaway. So definitely grab that if you can. Enter in, and you'll get a 2 ounce sample pack of our giveaway. It's This coffee is going to be the sweetest, smoothest coffee you guys have ever had in your life. Guaranteed not to give you any acid reflux or indigestion, or will give you 100% of your money back. And people are selling 2 pounds of this coffee for $110. So I need to adjust my prices to take account for that. But hopefully you guys will try this coffee before that happens, right? I'm at Heiko right now, and they literally serve the same coffee, but they're selling it for $110 for 2 pounds. It's $55 a pound. That's intense. I gotta, you guys are getting the deal. You guys have no idea. No idea. It's like how your parents tell you, I'm trying to make your life good, and you don't even believe them. That's the same thing. All right, guys. So hopefully I'm not lagging. It's life changing. That's great. We've held on to that bag for decades. You got to try to drink it. It might even still be good. No, we do not have K cups. The white will have a W on it. So all the letters are on there. If you want to shoot a picture of the stuff you got, I will take a look. But the white coffee has a W on it. W for white. So I'm gonna start out. Let me just tell you a little bit about the coffee, and I'm gonna start out with our best deal right now, which is our estate. So Kona coffee, considered the world's best coffee, hands down. There's almost no competition. The only competing coffee region is Jamaican Blue Mountain, and maybe for the same reason. But the flavor profile of all this coffee, no matter the roast, is gonna be smooth and sweet with almost no bitterness and no sourness whatsoever. And the reason for that is because of how we pick the coffee. And you should use paper filters. If you don't use paper filters, you actually will not live as long when you drink coffee, because coffee can interfere with the way your body um, processes cholesterol. All right, so this is my best deal right now. So I always start with the dark roast because the dark coffee is the only one that's really going to taste like coffee. Most, our coffee is actually roasted significantly lighter than other coffees, whereas the dark roast will give you that full, sweet and smooth flavor of the dark roast. And this dark roast is going to be taste like a toasted caramel, extremely sweet. Have I been rated? I got rated. Thanks, man, lobster. And coffee, does it go well with lobster? I've never had coffee with lobster. Our light roast is a little bit lighter than the blonde, and that one is a Death Doors, and I'll run that. The light Hawaiian is comparable to the blonde, a little bit lighter but sweeter. So our coffee, all of our coffee has almost no acidity in it. Strongest in caffeine, and we have a one that's even stronger, which is called a white coffee, but that one doesn't taste like coffee. It's worth trying. It's about 10 times stronger. And thanks for the raid, Lobster. Get tag Maine Lobster, and you guys go follow him. He's got some good lobsters. The white coffee is extremely sweet or extremely strong, maybe 10 times stronger than the dark roast. And it comes with a lot of health benefits, NAD booster, all of the positive benefits of coffee comes from the. Uh, and yes, our light roasts do have some fruity notes, whereas the white coffee that I have here that we're running tastes like a toasted corn with peanut butter. Very different. Hey Judy, how's it going? Hope you got your coffee. It's been a month or so since I've seen you, so good to see you again. But yeah, so the light coffee will give you the fruitiness. Even the medium has a little bit of fruitiness to it, but the light coffee is where the fruitiness is. And the fruitiest of all our coffees would be the light pea berry, although it also has the most tanginess, whereas our light Hawaiian almost doesn't have any tanginess at all. I'm gonna run the light pea berry. I gotta do it for 9. The pea berry is the rarest of all the coffees. It's um, it's it's a mutation in the bean. It only happens at the tips of the trees. And the pea berry light will be very fruity, also stronger than the light Hawaiian. Not quite as strong as the white coffee, but also very, very strong. And the pea berry is a denser bean. It happens at the tips of the trees. It's rare. It takes 100 pounds of our coffee to make 1 pound of pea berry. And this is a Kona pea berry, which I should specify that. Let me see if I could. And the difference is a Kona pea berry will also be bigger in bean size and fewer defects. So Kona coffee actually has really high standards. It needs to be above 16/64 of an inch, so pretty big. To put that in perspective, Ethiopian coffee needs to be 11/64 of an inch. Colombian coffee needs to be 12/64 of an inch. Whereas and pea berry, it just has to be a pea. But for us to be called Kona pea berry, it has to be above 16/64 of an inch, and we have coffee that's as big as 19/64 of an inch. It's a marginal difference, bunch of berries, but if you drink coffee every day religiously, there is a compound in coffee called caffeole, which will interfere with the way your liver processes cholesterol, and that can cause pancreas issues and high cholesterol. So if you're drinking coffee all the time, definitely you want to try to use a paper filter. Once in a while, not a big deal, but if you're drinking coffee all the time, you want to use a paper filter. Let me go back to my best deal of the day, which is my estate Kona. So Kona has different grades of coffee, and the first grade of coffee that we have is a Hawaiian coffee, which is the least dense, whereas the highest grade of coffee we have is um, the the extra fancy. Estate coffee combines the top 4 grades of coffee, and so this includes our extra fancy. It's normally 65. On our website, it's $72 a pound. But if you go online, you'll find it anywhere from 50 to $90 a pound. It's coming off a single estate, single farm. And I also have it in medium. The medium roast is going to be somewhat fruity and a little bit nutty, like a Nutella, very milk chocolate. But all of our coffee has almost no bitterness and no sourness to it. And let me tell you why. All of this coffee is grown on the same trees, and it only gets separated after we pick the coffee. And all of our coffee has to be handpicked, and that's the key reason, right? We do have a unique climate out here. Yeah, be careful, Kesley. Once you have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, you do have to use the paper filters, otherwise it'll make it worse. Old school coffee makers are good, drip coffee. If you use a French press, you can put a paper filter at the bottom of that metal filter, and that'll also improve the quality of your coffee. And so you definitely want to grind your own beans. I think K cups actually have a paper filter in it, so you're probably okay with the K cups. Yeah, that's the nice part about K cups is K cups do have a paper filter in it. All right, so what makes our coffee unique? Well, all of our coffee is picked by hand, and because of that, we're only picking the overripe beans, and that's the key, right? Most of the world's coffee is picked with a machine, and when you pick coffee with a machine, something like 20% of the beans are going to be unripe, and all of that unripe coffee, it has toxins in it that want to repel bugs. It's got the tannins, it's got the oxalates, all of those gut hurting compounds are in the coffee. They don't coffee unripe coffee doesn't want to be drunk, right? Unripe coffee wants you to leave it on the tree so it gets riper, and then it it only unripe coffee doesn't want to be picked. Unripe coffee wants to develop more sugars and sit on the tree and hang out until it's ready to just fall off. So because the germination process requires as much sugar as possible. So when you machine harvest the coffee, it's like a giant vacuum cleaner that goes over the tree and just pulls everything off the tree in one shot. Unfortunately, when you do it like that, 20% of the beans are unripe, and that gets into your coffee cup, and that ruins the flavor of the coffee. It makes it bitter and sour. It gives you acid reflux. It hurts your stomach. And that's why most of the coffee you guys are drinking, especially if it's below $20 a pound, you're getting unripe coffee. People tell me they need Nexium and Pepto Bismol and all sorts of antacids just to soothe their stomach after drinking the coffee. Whereas people tell me that they drink this coffee, they could drink 10 cups, 8 cups of it, and they're still going. And I'm like, you got to slow down because eventually it's still going to hurt your stomach. But going from 1 cup to 10 cups, big improvement. You don't need to drink 10 cups of this coffee, but you can because it's so smooth and sweet. Doesn't give you acid reflux, doesn't give you the shits. And it all comes down to how we pick it, right? Most of the world's coffee is picked with the machine. And when you pick coffee with the machine, 20% of the beans are unripe, and unripe coffee gives you unripe, gives you sour stomach, acid reflux. Saying crystals, I'm good. How are you? And I finally got some sleep. It's really you got some coffee, Shan. I appreciate you sharing that. Yeah, it is very very smooth, and again, that just comes from how we pick it. It's hard to convey. A lot of people, someone wrote me and they said, I thought, this was just lip service and your coffee can't be different. How different can coffee really be? You got to try it. And I do have samples. So if you want some samples, I'll let you guys get some samples here. I got some medium Hawaiian samples, 2 ounce samplers here, make you 4 8 ounce cups of coffee. So if you want some samples, here it is. And it's acknowledged to be the world's best coffee. We have it in Hawaiian and we have a Kona. The Hawaiian, these samples, you're going to get a little bit more than 2 ounces, usually 2.5 ounces. You can make a full pot of coffee out of these. The medium coffee is going to taste like a milk chocolate covered raisin, almost like a raisinette. And again, it's when you pick your coffee this ripe, all the bitterness is gone. There's a lot of coffee that's marketed as, you know, being marketed as there's a lot of coffee being marketed as uh, low acid coffee out there. But the truth is that low acid coffee is actually only low acid until it's burned. Whereas our coffee is low acid because of how we pick it. So it's a huge difference, right? Anything becomes low acid once you've let it sit on the tree and ripen and just soak up all the sun and convert all the acidity into sugars. That's where a real low acidity coffee comes from. And so our coffee is truly low acidity because of how we pick it. We don't pick the coffee until it's brown. We don't go out and pick until it's brown. So we're waiting, sitting there, waiting for the tree to turn brown. And once it's turned brown, then we go out and we pick the coffee. Huge difference. So that's the biggest difference in our coffee. We wait for the coffee to turn brown. We wait for the coffee to become deep red, purple, or brown before picking it. We're only picking the coffee that falls off to the touch. We pay our pickers really well, and so they can. Most pickers in the world are getting paid $1 for 100 pounds of coffee, whereas we're paying our picker $1 per 1 pound of coffee. So that makes a huge difference. It People can take their time and pick their coffee. Mostly, we're getting Americans to pick it. There isn't even really any migrant labor out here, and a lot of them are hippies. And if you know hippies, you know those dreadlocks, right? They take time. They take Making those dreadlocks takes time. They may not wash it, but while they're making the dreadlocks, they're careful. They do everything with a lot of intention, and that goes with the coffee too. And that's a part of the reason why this coffee is so good. When you see a bucket of hippie picked coffee, it's just purple. It's glistening purple, almost like cow's blood. It's just deep red, purple coffee. Just a bucket of the deepest, ripest coffee you've ever seen. And that makes a huge difference. They've done studies on Brix levels in coffee. Our coffee has some of the highest Brix levels, something like 25 degrees, I guess is how they measure the Brix. Whereas a lot of other coffee is getting 10, 15. So just a massive amount of sugar in our coffee. Massive amounts of sugar. And that sugar translates into the cup. You don't have to add cream or sugar into this coffee. It's already loaded with sugar, and I'm just setting up some additional products here. So I'm gonna run some dark Hawaiians now. These are 2 ounces of our dark Hawaiian. This dark Hawaiian was just roasted. That's the other thing is our coffee is always fresh. When you go to your supermarket to buy your coffee, that coffee can be sitting there for up to 18 months. And sorry, I'm taking so long here. Here we go. Yes, Zoo Nation, I'll do 3 pounds of the medium Hawaiian next. But these are 2 ounce samplers. Hippies stink. But we do wash the coffee. It is sun dried. I didn't say, they're not spending a lot of time showering, right? But those dreadlocks, they're taking their time. It's not easy to get dreadlocks like that. The dexterity in their fingers from making those dreadlocks, and that translates into the coffee that's getting picked. No, but seriously, it is a big difference. When in a place like Honduras, and they make great coffee too, but they're paying the pickers $1 per 100 pounds of coffee. All right. Imagine you're getting paid $1 per 100 pounds of coffee. That's $1 per 10,000 10,000 coffee fruits when you're getting paid like that. All right. So if you're getting paid like that, you're basically making $1 or $2 a day. And you're not going to be taking your time picking the coffee. You got to feed your kids, right? And that's the reality. You do have to feed your kids, and so you're going to be picking the pinks, the red oranges. You're going to be picking, maybe you're getting some greens in there, picking the whites, and just like a banana or an apple or an orange, even a few days too early, a few weeks too early. I mean, they're literally picking their coffee weeks before we pick our coffee. And once that coffee has been, you know, is plumping up, once it turns white, the actual seed looks the same. You can't tell the difference once you pulp the coffee. So you can't tell how good coffee is based on how it looks. And I was just here. I was just at this Hico, and they're selling Hawaiian coffee, same as our coffee, for 2 pounds for $110. So this is our 3 pounder here. I don't remember. So here's our 3 pound medium. It's going to be $78. Zoo Nation, if you want to grab it, I'll give you one more chance to grab that. I can't do it for any less, and I can't do $1 bids on this because you guys are just killing me. So I'll do it for 77. You got 15 seconds. Get it for 77 if you'd like. $1 less, and they are charging people $115 for 2 pounds out here of this Hawaiian coffee. You're getting 3 pounds for 77. I'm probably gonna have to raise this to 85 or so. But I'll. So this probably gonna need to raise the prices on these 3 pounders just a little bit. But I will give you guys this for 78. If you guys want the 3 pounders, let me know. These are medium 3 pounders. OG's coming, Sandin, and I'm gonna price that at like $20 a pound for you guys. So you'll be able to get 3 pounds for $60. Really good deal on that, actually. It's coming. It's coming this week. One bad apple ruins the batch, right? One green banana ruins the banana bread. You even less than that. Half a green banana ruins the banana bread, and so you guys are drinking sour coffee. That's what it comes down to. And then you're drinking old coffee. So if you go to the supermarket and you're wondering how old is my coffee, look at the best by date, and then go back by 12 to 18 months, and that's how freshly your coffee was roasted. Over Christmas, I was at the store and everything was dated best by uh, April 2027. That was back in January, and that's like this is freshly roasted coffee. Then I also have 3 pounds of estate medium. If you guys want the higher grade coffee, 3 pounds of our estate medium will be 120, and that's $40 a pound, which is actually still very very cheap. I'll run some 3 pounds of this, and I have been farming Kona coffee for 12 years. I've sampled this coffee out to thousands of people, you know, and so I know how you guys are going to react to this coffee. You're going to come, you're going to be a little bit skeptical. You're going to say, how different can coffee be? Here's the weather right now, just sunny. I'm down by the shore though, whereas up by the farm, it's island weather, which means, and that's another reason why this coffee is perfectly grown in Kona. We get half the day is sunny, half the day is rainy, and that makes for a very good cup of coffee. I'm gonna do more of these 2 ounce samplers. I'm gonna do these at sudden death now, 15 seconds. 2 ounce samplers makes you a full pot of coffee. At least 4 8-ounce cups. You're probably getting more than 2 ounces. Usually we pack 2.5 ounces, so it's the minimum of 2 ounces. They come in these individually sealed bags. This is exactly how much 2 ounces is. Best way to store the coffee, I would say, if you're not going to drink it within um, if you're not going to drink it within a month, put it in the freezer. Otherwise, if you're going to drink it within the month, you can keep it in a cool, dry place like your cupboard, and then it'll do really well. So this is our dark Hawaiian, which is one I suggest you start with. I can't do more of these $2, so I'm just going to run them at 4. But the dark Hawaiian coffee, this is the sweetest of all our coffees. It's going to give you the closest flavor to what you guys are used to drinking, and that is just a deep, like a rich, slightly nutty but chocolatey caramel with almost no bitterness and almost no sourness. And the lack of bitterness and sourness is due again to how we pick the coffee. We're only picking the coffee that's soft and ready to fall off the trees. The white roast is awesome, but now you're going to be stuck on the white roast because it's so strong. Um, have you tried it yet, Zero Prince? The white roast is the strongest and healthiest of all our coffees. It's almost like eating your vegetables, whereas our dark roast is the one that's going to taste like your coffee. I'm gonna have some shelled nuts next week. I just getting them shelled now again, so I don't have any of those right now. But we are getting more shelled. Should have those next week. I do have some chocolate covered mac nuts. They're really like luxury brand that I got here, so I'm actually selling those at my cost, which is I have 15 of them left. I'm not gonna carry these again after these. My cost was 16 on these, so if you guys want, get this. This is at my cost. This is 6.7 ounces of chocolate covered macadamia nuts. We are in some stores down to earth. We have some local stores in Hawaii that carry us, but the only chain that carries us is down to earth. The white coffee isn't quite gonna give you that coffee taste, right? It's more of like a tea. You can still use the creamer, and even with creamer, this coffee is gonna be healthy. You should make your coffee however you make it. and you want to have a good baseline, and then you compare the coffee from there. All right, so I just briefly ran to those magnets. I'm going to go back to my dark Hawaiian here, and these 4 ounce bags actually really popular because you can taste the coffee. They're individually packed. You can just throw them in the freezer if you need them, and then it'll make you a full pot of coffee. Yeah, it'll probably melt. You're right. In Oahu, yep, we do. What's it called? Downtown Honolulu roasts our coffee as their own, so you can get freshly roasted coffee. Downtown Honolulu on Bishop Street has it. Down to Earth has our coffee. A lot of the chains, the Down to Earth chain, the natural and organic foods, they have our coffee. Not all of them have it, but some of them do. Um, I think that's it on Oahu. Yeah, and Carter's Natural Foods up up in North Shore has our coffee. So once in a while. It's super light. Yeah, our white coffee is super light, whereas the dark coffee, even the dark coffee, is somewhat lighter than what you're used to. But well, Maui, we are at the Down to Earth in Maui as well, and that's the only one in Maui. So ask for it by name, and I would like to think our coffee is the best value by far. We do have our high grade coffees, but we also have this Hawaiian grade coffee, which they're selling here at Heiko for uh, $90 a pound. That's crazy that they're selling this Hawaiian coffee for $90 a pound. 2 pounds for 115. So they're selling for $50, 50, $60 a pound almost. And that's what you guys are getting here on this dark Hawaiian. I also have this Hawaiian, the dark Hawaiian in a larger bag. If you want them in a larger bag, this is a 12 ounce bag here. And all this dark and light coffee was literally just roasted on Saturday. We roast many, we roast at least 2 times a week, sometimes more. I try to keep all my coffee less than a week old. And if it does get cool, yeah, Maui's a good place. Maui's like a country club, whereas Big Island is rough. So if you're looking for a natural experience, Big Island. If you're looking for just a luxury getaway, manicured lawns, it's hard to relax on Big Island. I feel like because thanks, Mac the Knife. I appreciate that. I'll look. What's your YouTube channel? I'll add you to one of my playlists. And yeah, you got to try this coffee. It sounds like I'm talking it up, but when you try it, you'll realize I'm not talking it up. I can't even talk it up enough. You got to try it, and it's the difference between you know a brown banana and a green banana, an apple that's brown, but without the texture, right? It's the perfect texture still. So how about I run one of these dark bags at an auction? Let's try that. And remember, these dark bags, 2 pounds here at Hawaii Heiko, this coffee shop here. They're selling it for $35 for 8 ounces. Maybe I should start doing that. They're selling it for $115 for 2 pounds. And I'm gonna do a $1 start. This is a 12 ounce bag of our dark Hawaiian, guys. So make sure you grab it while you can. And remember, the retail price on this, I'm already giving a deal. And you can't find this anywhere. I guarantee you'll never find this. Even if you come to Hawaii, you can't find it. So this is our coffee here. Hawaiian dark, 12 ounce bag. Sweet and smooth, toasted caramel, guaranteed not to give you any acid reflux or indigestion. I would start with this one because this one, this coffee tastes like coffee. It's the sweetest one. It tastes like a toasted caramel. You can make it in your espresso. It is an espresso roast. I'll run another one of these. Uh, Fresh beans, I believe. Abundant Life Natural Foods has our coffee on the Hilo side, and I really appreciate that, Mac. I appreciate you guys trying the coffee, and this is I would say this is the world's easiest coffee to drink. It tastes the dark chocolate. I mean, the dark roast tastes like a dark chocolate, but less bitter than dark chocolate, less sour than dark chocolate. We are not certified organic, but we are organically grown, which means we don't use any chemical pesticides on the trees. Here's another 12-ounce bag. I'll run maybe two more of these after this. There we So all coffee has some mold on it. So there's no such thing as a mold-free coffee, but the coffee is so fresh that the mold doesn't have any time to germinate. So you will notice this coffee does not give you any of that weird taste in your mouth. I got two more of these left, guys. Two more, and then I'm going to move on to the next item. But but it's never sprayed with any chemical pesticides. So you're going to notice that the coffee does not give you the jitters. And if you get the jitters from coffee, a lot of it is due to chemical pesticides being sprayed onto the coffee. Uh, Bugs are extremely susceptible to nerve toxins, and so a lot of pesticides are nerve toxins. But our coffee is not sprayed with any chemical pesticides. We're only using naturally occurring soil funguses and soil bacteria, so you will notice it doesn't give you those jitters. The jitters are coming from coffee that's been sprayed with pesticides. So this is a 12-ounce bag of our Hawaiian dark, and then I'm gonna move on to the medium roast. The dark roast is the best one to start with because it's what we're used to coffee tasting like. This is Kona grown Hawaiian coffee, and the dark roast will have no bitterness, no sourness. Rooster Farms, you can Google us. We are online, Rooster Farms, and it takes a little bit longer for us to fulfill the website orders. So Whatnot is probably the best place to get the coffee because I only sell what I have of it just roasted on Whatnot. Whereas don't on my website, it's roasted to order. So sometimes it takes up to 2 weeks to fulfill those orders. Just FYI. Our next item is our medium Hawaiian, and this medium Hawaiian is 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 fruity. You're gonna taste the fruitiness on there. It's like a kind of like a milk chocolate covered raisinette. I think there isn't any nuttiness in this one, but this was is very fruity. And this one's the one you want to try if you're a little bit more advanced in your coffee drinking experience. You still want the boldness of the coffee. Green coffee is unroasted coffee, bunch of berries, and I wouldn't recommend getting that unless you are a home roaster. So this medium Hawaiian, also you're gonna get more than 2 ounces. Usually it's 2.5, but minimum of 2 ounces. I can't guarantee more than 2 ounces, but you're getting at least 2 ounces. Usually it's 2.5 to three. You're gonna make a full pot of coffee on this. They come in these individually sealed bags right here, and they're blank bag, but they are labeled. It will say MH for medium Hawaiian, and this will make you 4 8-ounce cups of really strong coffee or a full pot. They come in these craft bags. You throw them in the freezer, and they'll stay good for up to a year, and it'll still have that fresh roasted flavor for up to a year if you throw them in the freezer. If you leave them out, technically, and so all these, the medium and the dark, very good for espresso. So if you're looking for an espresso coffee, the best one is the medium extra fancy for espresso because you get this nuttiness out of it. But the medium Hawaiian, most people can't tell the difference between Hawaiian and the higher grades. So I would suggest you start with the Hawaiian so you don't get hooked on the most expensive coffee. If you want to, by all means, please do. But you know, our Hawaiian coffee. It looks like I'm out of the medium. Sorry about that. I don't have too many of the medium Hawaiians left. I think I have a few of the bigger bags. Let me run those for you guys. I may not have the bigger bags of medium Hawaiians. I do have some medium estate though. Let me just check here. How many of you guys are watching FIFA? I don't watch soccer at all. I don't play soccer. I don't watch soccer. Terrible at soccer. I don't have any medium. I don't have any of the medium Hawaiian 12-ounce bags, but what I do have is a medium estate. So the estate coffee is actually a higher grade, and we have these in 8 ounces right now. I'll run these at an auction. The estate coffee is a higher grade of coffee. It usually goes for $65 to $85 a pound if you're buying direct from the farm. It's a higher grade because the beans are denser than the Hawaiian beans. We separate the less dense beans from the denser beans, And oops, this is a 15-second sudden death, guys. I'm sorry. Someone's gonna get a deal on this one. Quick sudden death, and you should vacuum seal it. So this is a $72 a pound coffee on our website. You guys got it for 24 bucks for 8 ounces. Now I'm gonna do a regular auction. That was a little bit too fast. I always screw these up. So hang around my show, and you definitely will get a deal if you're sharp. Some people have gotten crazy deals on this show, but you know I'm happy to give you guys deals. You guys are my only friends. Well, that's true too. All right, so here's another 8 ounce medium Kona, and um, I got this new charging case too. 8 ounce medium Kona here. Not out of power. Here we go. Medium Kona, and this was just roasted 8 days ago. And the medium coffee is this one is almost as good as the extra fancy for. Um, Sorry guys, I gotta reset my feed. I got so many windows open here. This one is almost as good in the wild. How you doing? How you back? All right, guys. So let's try this again. So this one is almost as good as the extra fancy. In fact, about a quarter of the beans in here are extra fancy. So the estate coffee is just it has all the grades of coffee, and it's coming off a single farm. This was about a 20-acre farm, and they have some big dense beans, very very sweet coffee. And the medium roast has that nutty and fruit. This one actually has a little bit of nuttiness in it, and it's got some fruitiness in it. So, so if you're looking for a more kind of a more specialty coffee with berry notes, more like a raisin notes in it rather than berry notes. Very very sweet. Um, Still no sourness in there. A lot of lighter coffees have a lot of acidity, but this one does not have any acidity in it, and has just like a chocolate covered raisin or a Nutella. And that this one includes the highest grade of coffees. There's 4 grades of Kona coffee that we can call 100% Kona coffee. It doesn't say 100% Kona coffee. If it says 100% Hawaiian Kona coffee, that's not Kona coffee. So this is 100% Kona coffee. And thanks, Nelcom. This is a medium roast. This one's I would say the best one for an advanced espresso drinker. Most espresso beans are roasted very, very dark, almost burnt, and they're gonna be bitter. But this one is relatively light for espresso, but still really good. Professional espresso tasters have told us that this one, the medium 100% Kona, is the best one for them. And it's because it's a little bit fruity, it's a little bit nutty. It doesn't have the sourness that you expect from an espresso, but it is sweet, brown sugar, kind of caramel, almost like a whiskey cask flavor to it, and all picked by hand, guaranteed not to give you acid reflux or indigestion due to how ripe. So that's the key on our coffee, right? You can grow any fruit in the perfect environment, but if you pick that fruit too early, it's gonna come out sour and bitter no matter how large you got that fruit to grow. And that's why most of the world's coffee is so sour and bitter. Here's another 8 ounce medium Kona. Most of the world's coffee is so sour and bitter because most of the world's coffee is picked with the machine. And when you pick coffee with the machine, it's like this giant vacuum cleaner that goes over the tree. It starts shaking the tree and it just pulls everything off the tree. So um, after you're done picking coffee tree, it's just bare. There's no leaves. There's no berries on there. It's just sticks like the fall. It's like a fall tree. Unfortunately, when you do it that way, you're letting as much of the tree ripen together as possible. And something like 20% of the beans ends up being green. And maybe 5 to 10% of the beans are rotten. like covered in mold, like literally moldy, white, powdery rot. Sounds disgusting. But once you've pulped the coffee, the beans, you can't tell the difference between an unripe coffee, a perfectly ripe coffee, and an overripe coffee. They all look the same. And so that's the unfortunate fact of most of the commercially picked coffees you guys are getting. That's why when you roast it light, a lot of light roasts, even medium roasts, taste sour. They taste like a lemon juice. And a lot of dark roast tastes very bitter. And we expect a dark roast to be bitter and a light roast to be sour because when you take an unripe coffee bean that has a lot of acidity in it and you roast it very dark, the acidity actually becomes bitterness. So that's why your light coffees tend to be sour, your dark coffees tend to be bitter. And when you make an espresso, it extracts all the bitterness. But our medium, our dark roasts are not sour and they're not bitter at all. It's like letting a banana turn brown on the tree. The sugars have developed to the point where it's just loaded. This is a loaded coffee. I think this will be probably my last bag of medium for now. I'll do some 2 ounce samplers after this one too, so you guys can grab that. And medium, 100% Kona, probably the best one for an espresso. Our medium and dark are tailored for an espresso machine or your normal drip. I really like making drip. Just an old school, drip coffee machine will make you a really amazing cup of coffee on this, just a sweet toasted caramel. And so this is going to be some of the best coffee you've ever had in your life and the easiest coffee. A lot of times, I think a lot of us, we've been drinking coffee for a very long time. And we almost look at coffee like a vice, which you shouldn't. I used to look at coffee like a vice to the point where anytime my ex girlfriend, now wife, it was so much better when she was my girlfriend. I'm just kidding. I love my wife. But let me do a estate dark here. Let me run one of these darks, and I'll go on to my light coffees for the more specialty types who want the buzz. Medium in the dark doesn't give you a huge buzz, but it's smooth and it's sweet. It's your typical level, but won't give you the jitters. Here's a bag of our dark estate. This is 100% estate coffee. So much better when my wife was my ex-girlfriend, was my girlfriend, but and so this is a Kona dark. I'm gonna do 1 or 2 bags of this depending on how it does. And then I'll go to the light coffees. What was I saying about the coffee? So a lot of us view coffee as a vice, but it's actually consistently people who lived into their 90s, 100s, or plus, either they drink coffee or they eat beans, and they both feed the same bacteria in your stomach. It's a butyric acid fermenting bacteria. I did not get a heat one of those thermal printers. I did not. I'm still working off my laser printer, and it's because I don't trust my labor to stick stickers onto the. I need to. Yeah, I have a lot of trouble changing. I'm like a. I'm like a. I'm like a massive bureaucracy. That's what I always tell people. If you want to implement a change in me, it's gonna take a year. I'm gonna do it, and once it's changed, this is gonna be the way I do things. But getting that change is gonna take a long time. And if you don't like the answer that you get, you can call me back. You'll get someone different. It's still me, but it's someone different. All right, let's do a light wine now. Let's go to our light roasts. Oh, let me do some medium samples here. And let's do some of these medium Kona estates that you guys are bidding on. Here's some samplers of those. 2 ounce samplers, 100% Kona. This will make you 4 double shots of espresso, at least, maybe more. And this one is probably the best one for espresso. I, you're right. I'm an AOL. I'm old school. So here's our 2 ounce estate in the 2 ounce samplers. Um, and I'm clearing these out. And once these are gone, I bought some pens the other day. I was really happy about that. You know, I've for most of my life, I was dependent on my wife to do a lot of stuff. And we recently, about 4 years ago, we got business divorced. So we're no longer doing business together. And it's awesome. But I got to do a lot of things like buy a pen, buy my own pens. I got to, have my own bank account. It's very different. I know it sounds absurd, but some of you guys may know what I'm talking about. So this is our estate medium. This will make you 4 double shots of coffee. They come in these They come in these bags here, these single serving bags, and you can throw these in the freezer. Yeah, Whatnot's a little bit older crowd, right? So I do like the Whatnot crowd better than the TikTok crowd, although some of you guys are on TikTok too. TikTok's faster though. Definitely TikTok's faster. I like Whatnot more. I like hanging out with you guys way more than I do on TikTok. On TikTok, everyone's just yelling at me. I don't know what's up with that. Um, 2 ounce Kona Estate here. It it's definitely more sales on Whatnot. People are here to buy stuff, right? Whereas on TikTok, they're just surfing through. I get a lot more returns on TikTok. All right, guys. Last estate here, and these are 2 ounces. You're probably getting these for cheaper than the 8 ounce bags, honestly. So why don't we just do a few more of these? But buncho berries, and yeah. So coffee, health benefits of coffee. Coffee is the best thing you could do for yourself. And I totally did not believe that. That's how I got talking to my wife. When we were in our 20s, my wife would get a cup of coffee, and I always flip out. I'd be like, you should be drinking tea. Coffee's not good for you. It's like smoking a cigarette, blah, blah, blah. It is not. People who drink coffee actually live longer. People who drink coffee live longer than people who drink tea. Coffee feeds this bacteria in your gut. It's called, I don't know what it's called, but it's a butyric acid fermenting bacteria. And butyric acid, those bacteria die as you get older. And that's unfortunate because that's the bacteria keeping you young, and that bacteria in particular is fed by beans. Hey, Kat, how you doing? Which part of Texas? She heard psychically. She's psychic. He's psychic. She is psychic. Is that closer to Houston or Dallas? Or is that neither? That's the only parts. I've only been to Houston and Dallas, and I've been to San Antonio. San Antonio. I mean, Texas got the best steaks by far. Just thinking about, I need to go out there and eat some cow. Sorry, guys. I got, I got distracted. I need some steak from Texas. That's what I need right now. I need some of that bacon wrapped filet mignon. My wife loves raw steak. You guys ever eat that? The what do they call that? Where the steak is raw? She loves that stuff. I don't know. Is I don't know about her. We're gonna go to the light roast now. This is where we start getting buzzy. All right, so you guys probably have heard light roasts have more caffeine in it. If you've tried light roast before, you probably. And I'm gonna run. I'll start this 12-ounce bag of Hawaiian at $1. You've probably and it's too sour. Usually it's too sour to drink, but people like the tomahawks. Oh my god. We had some of that at Costco here and I just bought those up. Those are so good. You guys, I need some steak right now. All right, I need to focus. You guys threw me off. I'm thinking about steak now. I need to buy some of that. And they don't deliver on the whatnot steak. That's true. I'm close to get the Wagyu. They make American Wagyu now. And that stuff's really good. I got a bunch. Not even that much more expensive, but it's worth it, I think. Anyway, all right. Light bag for $15. We're back to the $15 bags. No more $1 auctions. All right. So our light coffee is roasted to only about 400 degrees, 50 degrees lighter than our dark, 25 degrees lighter than our medium. The light coffee is a little bit fruity and it's kind of nutty. So it's and it tastes it has a what how do I describe the flavor? It tastes like a raisin oatmeal cookie with a touch of chocolate, but it's like a sugar cookie. And it's going to give you maybe 2 or 3 times the buzz of your dark roast. So you start getting the psychotropics. I don't know if you guys know this, but coffee is actually a psychotropic. Coffee actually has this compound in it called trigonylene. And when you roast trigonylene to 250 degrees, it becomes something called methylamine, which is actually the meth part of methamphetamine. To make methamphetamine, you combine methylamine with amphetamines, and that's what makes it hallucinogenic. And so, coffee actually has methylamine in it. I'm out of the light roast too. I don't have any 2-ounce light samplers. I do. I know I have some light samplers, so let me just do a temporary listing here. And so the light roast has a high concentration of something called trigonylene. It's another alkaloid in coffee. You guys know what alkaloids are? Alkaloids are things like caffeine, nicotine, opiates are alkaloids. Um, Quinine in tonic water is an alkaloid. Theobromine in chocolate is an alkaloid. So all these bioactive compounds, which make us feel good or can kill us, are alkaloids. And it's called an alkaloid because it has a nitrogen group in it. And and so a lot of these, psychoactive compounds are the light roast. So the the alkaloid trigonylene, which is another name for methylated niacin. You guys probably have heard of niacin before, especially those out there who have tried to beat a drug test, right? You guys know niacin. It's vitamin B3. It's an essential compound for us. And other people have probably heard of niacin because in the supplement world, people are getting injections of niacin and niacin precursors and nicotinamide to boost their NAD levels, right? That's like the big thing, the anti-aging NAD boosters. Well, guess what? Light coffee actually boosts NAD levels better than getting nicotinamide shots. So that's one reason why coffee is so good for you. It's because coffee is a natural NAD booster because of this compound, trigonylate. And trigonylate is highly volatile. When you roast it at 250 degrees, it becomes methylamine, no longer trigonylate. That's what gives you the buzz in coffee. And there's a lot of that in light roast. By the time you get to dark roast, I think 99.9% of it has been roasted away. So the light roast is really where you start getting the buzz, the creativity, the talkativity, and even the music. If you put on music, that's right. Yep. Vitamin B3. I saw them, Pursuit Farms, but they don't ship to us. I'm really hungry though. So the only place we can get steak for reasonable prices in Hawaii is Costco. Don't defrost it, Amga. Just grind what you need when it's frozen. You don't need to defrost it. Just grind what you need right out of the bag, frozen. Don't defrost it. When you defrost it, the coffee bean is going to get oily. It's almost like defrosting ginger. You ever freeze ginger and defrost it? It just doesn't come out the same. So don't defrost. You can defrost it, but I recommend not defrosting it. Just grind it, coming out right out of the thing. And so this light Hawaiian coffee, at least 2 times the buzz of the dark. It's sweet. It almost leaves you feeling like you ate a bowl of spinach. Like your appetite is going to get stimulated for vegetables, not stimulated for sweets, but for vegetables. A lot of times you drink coffee, and especially the darker roast, and you're going to crave sweets, especially older coffee. And part of that is that there is mold in the coffee, right? And mold loves sugar, whereas bacteria loves protein. We learned that when you brew stuff, when you brew molds, you want to add a lot of sugar. When you brew bacteria, you want to add a lot of protein. So bacteria, and so coffee when it's moldy will make you crave sugars, but coffee when it's fresh will actually make you crave vegetables. And so this coffee, again, very fresh. This light roast was just roasted on Saturday, so the freshest coffee you can get anywhere in the world probably. Condensation will happen. The white coffee though, that's like the painkiller. It's got all sorts of stuff that I don't want to talk about because I don't want to be selling the coffee as a supplement. One day you may be able to find the white coffee as a supplement. I just want to say that, and you can ask each other here. People have tried it, and people are saying various things. But for me, the white coffee just gives you a buzz. The light coffee gives you twice the buzz as the dark. It still tastes like coffee. And the light coffee actually ages really well. So if you guys are looking, if you guys so light coffee actually some people recommend you rest it for up to a month. Some people can recommend you rest it for up to 2 months. So the flavor changes. It gets kind of sweeter as you let it sit. So if you're curious as to how coffee ages, the lighter roasts can be aged for a long time and they get sweeter as it sits for longer. I'm gonna run a few of these light 12-ounce light bags. Give you a chance to get it for 23. I'll put it on flash sale in the bin after this one. And yeah, Izzy, a lot of benefits. Just, but you got to try it for yourself, right? It's not gonna benefit everyone, but you can feel it right away with all of these supplements and every food. If you don't feel it right away, it's probably not working. If it doesn't feel good right away, it's probably not working. 8 ounce will be 32. I'll run one of those 8 ounces for you. So I do give a little bit discount. Let me just finish putting this on flash sale. I wouldn't defrost it, but you may have different. Yeah, ask Anzu loves. You guys probably even know more about coffee than I do. So if you guys have tips, definitely listen to the people with the tips. I'm gonna just put this white on flash, and then I'll. Cranberries is you try drinking pure 100% cranberry juice. The nasty sour stuff. That stuff will prevent UTIs. Because cranberries have the sugar in it the bacteria can't hold on to, so it flushes. It prevents that. Didn't work. All right. Not the. It has to be 100% cranberry juice though, not the cranberry cocktails. There's too much sugar in that. Anyway, I'm not a doctor though, so I don't know if this will fix UTIs because that's a post kidney issue. So I'm not really sure about that. Anyway, light whole bean Hawaiian in the bin, and I'm gonna run the extra fancy white that you guys asked about. So the white coffee, we've been roasting it in this extra fancy, which is the highest grade of our coffee. I think extra fancy is between. I used to say 1%. It's actually between 5 to 10% of all our beans comes out extra fancy. So I'm sorry, I'm saying one. The peaberry is 1%. The extra fancy is 5 to 10%. It's the top 5 to 10% of beans that we produce. It's the biggest beans. It also is state inspected. It has to have less than 1% defects. So it's also the densest beans. Defects make the beans less dense. So these are also the densest beans we have. 8 ounces of our extra fancy. People are charging you guys $35 for 8 ounces of their Hawaiian grade. So I don't know. Maybe I'm short selling myself, but this is our highest grade of coffee. 8 ounces. You're gonna see 8 ounces for 50, $60 a lot of times of the extra fancy. But yeah, it's coming direct from the farm, so I can afford that you guys. My goal here is to get you guys to drink this coffee every day rather than try to get you to buy one bag for $100. I want you to buy 10 bags for $30. I don't know. It anyway. Here's our white coffee, and the white coffee. Let me just talk about it a little bit. The white coffee is the strongest by far. I would say it's as strong as weed, and there's probably a reason why we've been roasting coffee so dark. I would say Katura is the rarest and it's the most flavorful. Is it the best? That depends on your palate. Yes, you can cancel, no problem. I always grant them. Appreciate that, Izzy. So this is our extra fancy white. I also run some samples. The white coffee is only roasted to 350 degrees. It's almost a peanut butter flavor to it. Um, and it's strong. It's like 10 times stronger than your dark coffee. It gives you this buzz. It gives you this energy. It even gives you kind of a body buzz. Like your body feels like you're. Some people says it makes their body feel tingly. Other people say it makes them feel like they're floating. And those are all accurate. It does have health benefits, but I can't go into those because I don't want to be selling a supplement. But look up trigonelline, Trigonelline, or go on my YouTube. The benefits of trigonelline, which is 1 to 3% of unroasted coffee. 99.9% of the trigonelline is already roasted away. It's been caramelized into flavor. Same with your decaf coffees. Remove the trigonelline. So trigonelline is also at higher levels in an arabica, which is all our coffee is arabica. So that's where this coffee, and it doesn't look like the peaberry had your mouth tingling too. This stuff's strong, and it's because of how ripe the coffee is. I got to reset my show real quick. I'll be right back, guys. And this white coffee is strong, extremely strong, stronger than anything you guys have probably experience in terms of coffee. It's so strong that the other day I was doing that marathon. I did 6 hours, which is a marathon for me. For other people, it may not be. But I had four huge cups of it, really strong cups, because I make my coffee like 4 times stronger than I should. And I had a little bit of a nervous breakdown. It makes you so methylamine, trigonylene just takes care of a lot of health issues, but also very very strong in terms of the buzz. So worth trying, especially if you guys been drinking coffee for a long time. It's like it'll replace your Monster energy drink, but it's loaded with vitamins and minerals, antioxidants, which will support that additional energy boost. And Izzy got it for $1 here. Good job. You caught that one. So maybe I sold it wrong. Some people are afraid of it. There's nothing to be afraid of. It's still coffee, but it's like, sometimes you drink 4 or 5 cups of coffee and start getting giddy, right? And you only need like a shot of this, and you're gonna get that same level of giddiness. It's just it's coffee in its purest form, and this is the highest grade of coffee. This is our extra fancy, and the extra fancy. I did another $1 start, guys. I always screw that up. So $1 start on this 2 ounces, sudden death, 9 seconds. Get it before someone else gets it. And yeah, for me, when I drink this coffee, I wake up and I have a good attitude. I have a really good attitude. It makes it easy to get into the zone. A lot of times I find, especially on whatnot, if I'm not in the zone, I'll start and stop. I can't get into the zone, and I'll go on for 10 minutes, and I'm just feeling like I need to quit. I just want to quit, right? Whereas this coffee, you're in the zone, you're ready to go, and hours will fly by, and you won't notice it. You're just going on and on. Same with going to work, focusing. It just helps with all that stuff, and it feeds you. It feeds you on the cellular level. It's not just squeezing more energy out of you like an energy drink. It's actually supporting you. It's improving it's feeding the mitochondria in your it's literally feeding the mitochondria. You ever see this movie? It was called Mitochondria. It was a Japanese movie where the mitochondria was actually an alien species that was sent here thousands of years ago to invade, and they took us over. But then they activated certain people who had the mitochondria. And anyway, I watch a lot of movies. It was called Mitochondria, and it turns out that we're actually all just hosts for alien mitochondria sent here to take over. All right, Iron Sword. How's it? Iron Sword, you've been out and about a lot. Has it? So hopefully, I want to think it's the coffee. All right, so let's talk about some of our higher grades of coffee now. We did our extra fancy white, right? You guys tried the extra fancy white. You guys got a chance to grab that. How about do that at 7? It's kind of random. Sorry, I run. So more of these 2 ounce samplers, the extra fancy white. They come in this, and I'm hungry. Every time you talk about cooking, Iron Sword, I'm hungry. I need to eat. Where can I get some steak around here? I need to eat. I'm hungry too. And so that's our extra fancy white. Now let's talk about our higher grade. That's awesome. That's right. You're a cook. I need to get I need to get in on that. I'm hungry, guys. All right, so we got an extra fancy medium, which is the biggest beans, the most buttery beans. So extra fancy beans get so large that they're 19/64 of an inch. Beans don't grow this large anywhere else in the world, and that's because we have this active volcano constantly replenishing the soil. And it's very hard to get micronutrients. So but we do have this active volcano that's constantly replenishing the soil, making the beans grow larger than beans from anywhere else in the world, fuller, denser, nuttier, has the berry and fruitiness without the bitterness, and that's because of our unique climate here. that we have a unique volcano where this it's called a Hawaiian eruption. So it's always erupting. It's never has these huge eruptions. It's just constantly adding trickle of micronutrients to our rainwater. And so if you have too many micronutrients, the beans actually grow small. And if you have too little, the greens are going to be airy and not as dense. So our extra fancy, we do they do grow larger than beans from anywhere else in the world. Let's do a dollar start, see how they do here. And so this one was the one Noah Stern came on here maybe a few months ago now, and he said that the extra fancy medium was the best one for espresso. They're just buttery, they're fruity. You get the full kind of unique flavors of the region. And normally extra fancy, $100 a pound. So right now it's $6. That's $48 a pound. Still a little bit low. I'll run one more of these. I'm gonna move on. Up $7. I did it again. So top 5 to 10% of the beans. Also the biggest beans anywhere in the world. The beans do not grow this large anywhere in the world. The larger bean will be more oily and a little bit sweeter. Let's do a dark. I'll do a 6 ounce of these extra fancy for 25. So if you guys want 6 ounces, a 6 ounce bag for 25. And I'll do some cacao tea next. Extra fancy, biggest beans, kind of buttery. But honestly, our estate coffee almost as good as this, but on the margins. Like these beans are to look at. They're almost as they're just a little bit better than the estate. But when you look at the coffee, they're ridiculously big. They're sometimes 4 times. I got a batch of Maui coffee, and my extra fancy beans were literally 6 times larger. Like huge, huge beans. So when you get these beans, it makes other coffee look laughable. But you don't want to laugh at other people's coffee. They're gonna get upset. They're never gonna forgive you. So don't go laughing at other people's coffee. All right? They're never gonna forgive you. I've had people laugh at my coffee, and I still remember the faces of every single person who laughed at my coffee. All right, you asked for some cacao tea. Cacao tea. So Hawaii also grows some of the world's best chocolate. And cacao tea and our cacao nibs is the chocolate in its raw form. The cacao tea is the peel of the cocoa seed. And like any peel, that's where all the flavor and the compounds and the good stuff, all the vitamins and minerals are concentrated. And so you're gonna notice when you make this cacao tea, it's gonna be it just extracts into the water. It's the easiest way to get chocolate flavor into into hot water. So if you can mix this in with your drip coffee, you can mix this into your green tea. It goes really well with green tea. Chocolate green tea is so good. um, and it's calming. Like when I drink my white coffee, I start losing it, and then I make a cup of this Hawaiian cacao, and I calm down almost instantly. There's something in there. Cacao has this other alkaloid called theobromine, and theobromine is really good for your throat, for lung issues. It suppresses your cough. They've actually been trying to extract theobromine to replace codeine, but they're having trouble with it. I don't know exactly why. I think it's the poppy seed industry, but it's actually better for suppressing your cough than codeine. There's this. It's also very good for remineralizing your teeth. So chocolate is very good for those reasons, and the Hawaiian cacao is the peel of the chocolate seed. So it's the strongest brewable chocolate you're going to be able to find. Just pure chocolate essence. We don't add any cream or sugar into it. It's 100% Hawaiian cacao, but it's just pure chocolate essence that goes into your hot water. Usually, cacao very hard to brew, even hot chocolate very hard to brew, right? But this is pure chocolate essence. All you need to do is add hot water. You take a teaspoon of this, put it in a cup of water. It'll brew s- chocolate tea without, sometimes you brew nibs or you brew hot chocolate. It's fatty. The powder stinks. It doesn't. It's messy. but this cacao is actually meant for water. I don't know. We also, next item I'll run, we have some cacao nibs, and that's the cocoa seed in the raw form. To make chocolate, you actually have to take cacao nibs and you heat them up, and then the chocolate liqueur melts out, and you're left with the cocoa butter, which is the fatty part. So the cocoa nibs combines, it's before you separate the cocoa butter from the cacao. It just tastes like a dark chocolate nut. Um, it's just a dark chocolate nut, and you can just eat these like chocolate. They're crunchy. They taste like a dark chocolate nut, but they're healthy. No added cream, no added sugar. It's a little bit fruity. I'm so hungry talking about this chocolate now. I need to get some food. I might have to take a quick break and get some food here. And the cacao nibs are really great for snacking. Let me see. Here we go. Cacao nibs, 4 ounces. You can eat them right out of the bag. It should handle your chocolate cravings. You guys like the cacao at night. How does that affect you guys? Have you noticed it they're sleeping less or sleeping more? And I do think the nibs will handle your chocolate cravings, but it is a dark chocolate, right? So it is a dark chocolate. It's not a milk chocolate, but it tastes just like dark chocolate, but a little bit nutty. I've never separated the cacao butter from the cacao liqueur, but I think when you heat it, the liqueur runs off like a liquid. I don't know though, but it is better for you than chocolate. It's pure chocolate. There's no sugar. You're back, Rumpy. No sugar, no added milk, none of that. It's just pure chocolate. And interesting. I gotta start trying to do that. Maybe I get my wife to do that. So 4 ounces of cacao nibs here, and these are Hawaiian cacao nibs. Some of the nibs are so fresh you can smell the liqueur on them. You can smell that fermentation, a little bit of alcohol. So chocolate is fermented, just like coffee is fermented. That's where that additional flavor comes from, and you can really taste the liqueur, dark chocolate liqueur, really tasty. So chocolate and fresh. That's the other thing about everything that we produce here. The coffee was sometimes you get coffee. We actually don't shell our coffee until right before we roast it. We don't shell the chocolate until we need it. So everything's in these small batches, freshly shelled, freshly roasted, freshly fermented. Whereas when you buy stuff from other countries, just sitting in customs, it'll be sitting in customs for a month or two, sitting on the boat for 2 months. And so everything you get from other tropical countries, it's old. We don't think of chocolate and coffee as a fruit, right? But it is a fruit. It's a fruit that grows on trees. And like any fruit, if you pick it too early, it's gonna come out sour and bitter, no matter how large you got that fruit to grow. And the last items I got here is going to be your pea berry. So we have a dark pea berry sampler here. The pea berry is the densest and richest of all the beans. It's a mutation in the coffee plant, only occurs at the tip, so it's twice as dense. And this one is less than 1% of our crop. It's twice as dense. It's like when a peanut takes over the entire shell. So it's shaped differently. It's got a different flavor profile because even though it's grown on the same trees, it's 2 times denser. It roasts differently. It's getting different nutritional aspects. It tastes like a butter. It tastes like your tongue is covered in butter. What's that? 8 p.m. Interesting. So this is a peaberry dark sampler, 2 ounces, and this will make you 4 8-ounce cups. It's the most expensive and rarest of all our coffees. It's it's the richest one. So if you're looking for a very rich cup, a very dense body, this one is twice as dense, and it's a little bit richer than your standard dark roast. Smoother, way smoother. It almost tastes like your mouth is coated with a layer of butter or oil. So it is buttery. It's got a richer flavor profile than your typical dark coffees, and I think I got to get a little bit more for that. So they are. So if you go to so most of the time you can't even find pea berry, right? You're not going to find pea berry at the supermarket. You're not going to find Kona pea berry in anyone who has pea berry. You're not going to find it. I want to get some of this Willie's hot chicken, guys. I need to get some hot chicken. Change locations here. I order some hot chicken here. So the pea berry is $56 for 7 ounces at the store, if you can even find it. See, it's almost impossible to find the pea berry. If you can find it, it's $56 for 7 ounces, and it's just the rarity of it. It is a higher grade, hard to mill out. We have to run the coffee through all these grates, and the pea berry will fall out with the grates. Here we are. All right, give me a sec, guys, while I order some chicken. And so we're doing this dark pea berry, $6. You guys want to pay $6 for it? I wish I could give you as much pea berry as you wanted for $6, but it's actually a little bit low. So let me run these a little bit higher. This we're at Willie's Hot Chicken. So if you ever come to Hawaii, Willie's Hot Chicken, my favorite chicken place. McShane, you won one. Congratulations. And if you guys get me to 500 shares, guys. Hey, how are you? Can I, hey, how are you? Can I get a 3-piece tender? With, not spicy. And then you guys have, what kind of fries do you have? You have waffle fries, sidewinder fries, sweet potato fries, and tater tots. What are the sidewinders? Those are those, and then they're kind of spicy, like the case. Yeah, let me get that. Let me get the sidewinder. And then what dipping sauce is great? Just ketchup is fine. Sure. And let me see. Let me get you're alive as well, but you have right? I'll get this. For here to go. For here. 21 is your number, 24 is yours. Can I tap? Yeah. There you go. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. All right, guys. I was hungry. I was hungry. McShane, how's the coffee? How's everything going? How's the holy water? We were talking about holy water last time you were on. How's the holy water? All right, let's do one more of these $1 starts on the Peaberry. 20 second sudden death, guys. I know you guys want to pay $6 for it, but we'll do last one. This is my last one. Having my vanilla Coke. But you drink a Coca-Cola. Do you feel the way you feel on coffee? No, right? Coca-Cola doesn't have trigonylene in it. You can't just eat a caffeine pill and feel the way you feel on coffee, and that's because of the trigonylene. And so I'm giving away some light Hawaiian because I know a lot of you guys have tried the dark already. I've been giving away so many bags of that, so I'm switching over, giving away some of the light Hawaiian. Hopefully, I'm getting you guys, more interested in lighter roasts as you drink. As you drink coffee, as you advance in your coffee drinking journey, you're gonna, the light roast is where you really taste the distinctions between the regions, and you can taste the different flavor profiles. Our flavor profile is actually very simple. It's just almost like a sugar cookie with raisins. Very sweet, smooth, simple. Just a dessert coffee, like a dessert wine. And that's because of how ripe we pick our coffee. It's because our coffee just has everything going for it. It's like me, but then I got screwed up. Someone threw salt on my fields. But this coffee's grown in the perfect climate. We have this active volcano. Everything, you got everything going for it. You guys have been on light pea berry. This one's going to be tingly, extremely strong, and give you a huge buzz. The pea berry, the buzz is concentrated in there. There's something else going on in there, and you guys get to try this light pea berry. $4. I am losing money when I charge you $4 for pea berry, so I will have to just run that at my full price. If you guys want to try this pea berry roasted to 400 degrees. The flavor profile tastes like a chocolate covered oatmeal cookie. Sweet, little bit has a touch of tanginess to it, but not like other, light roasts that tend to be very, very sour. I also have some. Do I have some larger bags of this? I don't. Vanilla Coke, yummy. Mm, nothing like sugar. All right, what are we doing? Thought I had a light pea berry. Guess not. All right, guys. So that's my light pea berry. I don't think we're getting up to that. So, you guys have any requests on anything else in the store? I might go through it again. I do have the medium and the dark pea berry, and I'll run one of these larger bags for you. And the pea berry was also roasted on Thursday, so very fresh. Here's an 8-ounce bag of our medium pea berry. The pea berry is, and it's crazy. I'm charging you guys $35 for pea berry, but Heiko is charging you $35 for their Hawaiian. I don't know. I got to reevaluate. But yeah, this is our medium 8-ounce bag of the medium pea berry. If you want that, I'll also run the 2-ounce samplers for you. Um, and the pea berry is the most sought after and sort of the rarest of all the coffees. Very hard to find because it's actually. I could do some larger ones of the tea if you want. Um, here, do how about I do a pound of the tea for 20. I think I can do it for 27. So if you want a full pound of the chocolate tea, I'll do a full pound for 27. Still might come in 4-ounce bags though. Mm. Sometimes you just need a Coke. Nice, thanks. Awesome. Where do I get the ketchup from? Around the corner? Thanks. All right. So if you guys want 16 ounces of the tea, awesome. Thank you. Let's see. What else do we got going on here? We're getting up to 500 shares. It looks like we're going to get there. So we will do a 6 ounce for a giveaway. And you guys can just marvel at the size of those beans. They're ridiculously big. Mhm. We have a peaberry sampler here. Rarest of all our coffees. Mhm. I'll do a thing of a pound of nibs. And these are 100% Hawaiian chocolate. Hawaiian chocolate's actually considered, it's the most expensive chocolate in the world by far. One of this chocolate company emailed me and they told me to charge people $20 for 2 ounces of chocolate. I was like, I can't sell your chocolate anymore. It was $13, and even that was pushing it. You know, like you see Dubai chocolate, which is supposed to be really good, right? They're charging $10 for 4 ounces, and Hawaiian chocolate was charging $13 for 2 ounces, and now they want to up it to $20 for 2 ounces. So I was like, I can't sell this anymore. I can't. But that's what we're dealing with in Hawaii here. It's just everything is it's the labor cost to make it really expensive, but it is really everything does have a unique flavor. That that active volcano and the virgin soil out here, you can't unparalleled. We'll do some dark Kona. Here's a pound of the nibs. I thought maybe this is better bidding for them. So I'll lower this to 25. So I'll give you a pound of nibs for 25. I can't do them for much better than that. I don't even know. Does that even make sense? That's still a really good deal. All right. Pound for 25. I can do that. So this is the here's a pound of the nibs. If there's anyone who wants a pound of the nibs, I'll do it for 25. The blue bag. That's Kauai coffee, Rumpy. I'll do some dark Kona. Did you want the extra fancy Kona or did you want the Este Kona? Extra fancy. Okay. So the extra fancy that Cynthia asked for is just 19/64 of an inch beans or above. So they're the biggest beans that we have. They're actually the biggest beans in the world. And the beans sometimes are 4 times larger than beans from other regions. A lot of them are 2 times larger than the Hawaiian in terms of volume. And not only are they bigger, but they're a much higher quality than all the rest of our coffees. To be called extra fancy, it has to have less than 1% defects. So the state actually comes in and randomly samples the coffee. And if it has more than 1% defects, which means if one of the beans are chipped or cracked, then we can no longer call it extra fancy. It has to either go into our Hawaiian or our estate. So extra fancy beans are these are good. Sorry I'm eating, guys, but I'm really hungry. So So extra fancy dark will be very, very sweet. Not quite as smooth as the dark pea berry, but it's sweeter than the pea berry. And will just give you the least. It'll still give you a buzz, but it's the least jittery, I would think. You know, I gotta, I gotta eat. You gotta eat. So these are extra fancy. I need to take a little bit of a break and eat this food. So I'll run some of these dark Hawaiians now. Hawaiians, I would say, are 18%. I mean, 80% as good as our extra fancy. You're really paying a premium for that marginal difference, but that marginal difference for someone who drinks a lot of coffee and knows their coffee makes a huge difference because you're not going to find a coffee with that much oil and that much sugar anywhere else in the world. But even our Hawaiian coffee, it's a little bit less dense. So it tends to roast a little bit more evenly. You don't get as many subtleties in the flavor, but it actually turns out to be a little bit sweeter. I'm eating some fries and some chicken. This is what I'm eating right now, guys. It's Willie's hot chicken. um, Caffeine in the news. You know, I had a period about 4 years where I couldn't. It is holy poop. The nibs. There's a tiny amount of caffeine, but not really. It's theobromine, which is what's in chocolate. It's a mirror image of the caffeine. It doesn't affect us the same. So there is theobromine. I don't. There's a tiny bit of caffeine in chocolate, but it's almost none. One of these packs should be enough to make a pot, maybe 3/4 of a pot. You're supposed to use a 1 to 16 ratio. So 1 part coffee grounds, 16 parts water. So this technically makes 32 ounces of coffee, but most people are getting 64 ounces out of this. We usually give you a little bit more than 2 ounces. So in practice, you're getting a full pot or more. But I can only guarantee you 32 ounces of coffee because that's the officially that's what we're giving you. Now, the reason why this coffee is more expensive is number one, it's being grown in Hawaii, where a gallon of milk is $10. But that aside, it's our labor cost. But that's also why our coffee is so much sweeter. We're paying our people picking the coffee here 100 times more than they get paid in Honduras. Literally 100 times more. And it doesn't cost 100 times more to live here. It costs like 10 times more. So there's enough of a difference where people can take their time picking this coffee, and that's what it really comes down to. When you take time to pick the coffee, you're only picking the overripe beans, and so you're only getting the best, sweetest coffee. And coffee is like any other fruit that grows on trees. If you pick it too early, it's going to be sour and bitter. It's going to give you acid reflux. It's going to give you indigestion, and that's where a lot of the problems in coffee comes from. A lot of the problems in coffee comes from the fact that it was picked with a machine. And when you pick coffee with a machine, something like 20% of the beans are going to be unripe, and unripe coffee tastes like any other unripe fruit, it's gonna hurt your stomach. If you religiously eat or drink orange juice made from unripe oranges every single day, what's gonna happen to you? Your stomach lining is gonna get scraped away. It's not a good thing, right? You're not. It doesn't. It's not a good thing to be eating unripe fruits. But for some reason, we're okay with drinking unripe coffee. And I think it's because coffee comes from a time when it was sitting on ships for a year or more before it reached the port. And by then, there's mold on it. You have to roast it dark. Otherwise, you taste the mold. It doesn't have to be like that anymore, right? This is being airmailed to you. You like the coffee? The real question is, does your ex-husband like the coffee? There's a huge difference between freshly squeezed orange juice, right, that you pick the oranges yourself, versus orange juice that you're buying in the store. Big difference, right? And that's the case with our coffee too. So we grow this coffee on small 6 acre family farms. Everyone growing this coffee generally only has 6 acres. So on a 6 acre farm, you got about 2,000 to 4,000 trees, which sounds like a lot of trees, but it's enough trees. It's small enough that you can keep track of it. And so this coffee, sweet and smooth. Oh, juice can really tear up your stomach. I was saying I had this period about 3 or 4 years where I couldn't even eat this. I couldn't eat fries. I couldn't eat fried food. Anything I ate, I would break out in canker sores. I was able to fix it by eating ginger. So I'm not selling you ginger right now, but if you guys have stomach issues, ginger makes a huge difference. Just have, a bite or ginger tea at night, and you're gonna notice a lot of your digestive mouth sores, all that will go away. So ginger was the miracle cure for me. Coffee tastes great, makes me feel great, but ginger is what like fixed my life. Our next one I'm running is our light Hawaiian. This one will start to give you the buzz. It'll give you a little bit of a body high and a head high. Unlike other light roasts, it's not going to be sour. You had the turmeric. Turmeric doesn't quite fix my problems. Turmeric's really good for joints. It's good for some people. It does works miracles for digestion. Ouch. Yeah, seafood allergies can be rough. You can really get problems from that, right? I think it's a. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh yeah, thanks. Save some money on lobsters, I guess. And we've got another bag of our light Hawaiian for you guys to try. I'll do these 12-ounce bags of light Hawaiian for 23. We are up to 600 shares, so I owe you guys a bag of extra fancy dark. All right. Here's our extra fancy coffee here. And we're gonna run one of these for you guys. All right. Get it on this, guys. This is our highest grade of coffee, 6 ounces. This is not cheap coffee. I don't know that much about kidneys, so I'm reluctant to make any recommendations. But I would say the white coffee has some really good general health benefits. And if you research trigonelline and kidneys, you might find something. Here's a bag of our white in an 8 ounce that you can grab if you want, or I'll do this in a 2 ounce bag for you to just try it. And this one does improve your body health quite a lot. And here's a bag of that white in the 2 ounce. It is the highest grade of our coffee, so it is an extra fancy, which is why it's a little bit more expensive. He came back for more. That's good. That's how you know it's good, right? If they take the pot, it's good. If they don't say anything, then you're just being polite. You got some. All right, cool. We got some larger bags if you guys want them. I saw Hawaii Heiko, which is a local coffee company. They're selling this coffee for 2 pounds for 115 bucks. So this is 3 pounds for 80. I don't know if I should really be selling it for this, but if you guys want a 3 pounder, here it is. You guys remember this song? I'm at Hoolie's Hot Chicken. Thanks, Cynthia, for picking that up. Oh, sorry, guys. All right. Let's see. What else are we doing here? If you guys want 3 pounds of our estate coffee, I'm doing that for 120. It's 40 bucks a pound, which is also kind of crazy. The fact that people are charging 220 bucks for 2 pounds of Hawaiian, I don't know. If you come to Hawaii, it's like a tourist trap in a way. So this is our 100% Kona grade coffee. Like you see coffee on eBay or online where they're saying, 1 pound of Hawaii, 100% Hawaiian Kona. That's not Kona coffee. That's weird. If it doesn't say 100% Kona coffee, it's probably not Kona coffee. They're probably doing something weird. Because if you label it 100% Kona and it's not 100% Kona, you can go to prison. People have gotten convicted of fraud, 5 years in jail. Costco, Kroger's that had to pay us millions of dollars because they were saying it was Kona, it wasn't. So if they use that term, 100% Kona coffee, it if it doesn't say that on the label, then it's not 100% Kona coffee. I have a little bit of medium couture left. the last bit of our Katura before next year. So if you guys want Katura, here it is. Well, Izzy, I think you already got some coffee, and you did got pretty close to that $40 pound price. So little bags are actually okay. We don't charge you that much more for the little. Sometimes you do better on the little bags. Who won that 6 ounce? I'm doing some 8 ounce dark estate. Cynthia, thank you for supporting our farm. I really appreciate it. Makes a big difference for all of us out here. So you guys are doing good things by buying coffee direct from the farmers. So I really appreciate it. You won it. You won it. It's because of your name. All right, guys. You're good, Izzy. I hope you enjoy it. Keep them in the freezer. Thank you, bunch of berries. Ah, Steve Avon. Well, Steve Avon, congratulations. You probably already left. I got to start entering all these giveaways. Got to start winning some giveaways. All right. I got 3 pounds of dark Hawaiian as well. And this 3 pounds, they're literally charging $110 for 2 pounds at the Hico. Same coffee. In fact, I think our coffee's better, but I don't want to say that. So this is absolutely the best deal you're going to get anywhere in the world for this coffee. I can say that. And I also know that, the difference from farm to farm is usually bigger than the difference from grade to grade. So you can get extra fancy coffee from a farm that picks their coffee wrong. And even though we have the same climate, the same trees, the same soil, their coffee is going to be sour and bitter, whereas our coffee is going to be sweet and smooth. So how you pick the coffee, how you pick the coffee makes a huge difference. And if you don't pick the coffee right, you can have everything else can be perfect. But if you pick the coffee wrong, it's going to come out sour and bitter. Sort of like people. Like I'm sour and bitter. The white coffee makes you feel good, right? Have you tried it yet, Izzy? No. Okay. Here's to hear how it makes you feel. Some people it doesn't do anything. Other people they swear by it. So $1 start on this 8 ounce Kona coffee. That's steak grade, guys. I'm gonna shoot a $1 start. So one of you guys may get it for cheap. I shouldn't do too many of these $1 starts anymore. I didn't know white coffee existed until I came on here and a bunch of you guys were asking for it. So I did some research and I roasted it, and it was incredible. It was so strong and just such a buzz. Forgiven's gonna win this one. Ah, too bad. You just got 8 ounces of Kona for $10. Those are the kind of deals you're only gonna find on this show. All right, guys. What are we doing? So here's a medium 100% Kona estate for 21. Estate coffee is one grade higher than Kona. This is gonna taste like you're gonna love the coffee, Bramble. The only thing you're gonna hate is that you got to pay a little bit more. So it may you're gonna have a love hate relationship with this coffee, but you can get some good deals on here. So as long as you're patient. So I think just run a bunch more of these 2 ounce samples, and then I think that's it for today. I would check out I would check out the dark Hawaiian, the dark Kona, the medium Kona. Dark and medium, I would say, is what you typically should get because the dark roast is going to taste like coffee. The medium roast is going to be a little bit fruitier than you're used to, but also worth trying. Still almost as good as really close to what you guys are used to. The light roast is going to be very different. It's going to be more your specialty coffee. If you've gone to like Whole Foods to buy coffee, that's more in the range of the light roast. Whereas the medium and the dark is stuff that you could get in the store, but this will just be sweeter and smoother without any bitterness or aftertaste to it. Got Matrix, nice. You guys got twice the chances of winning. You mean your ex girlfriend, right, McShane? So much better when she was our girlfriend, wasn't it? I mean, not her, she, but when the wife was an ex girlfriend, they loved us, they supported us in everything we did. We didn't have to clean the house. It's different now. We could smoke weed. We can smoke weed. We could drink. We didn't have to clean. They clean up after us. They cook and clean. Now we're doing all the cleaning. We're doing all the dishes. Doing all the shopping. You still smoke. You're lucky. You got to thank your wife. You got a Roomba. Now it's all serious. No more jokes. You make a joke, and it's a risk. Well, there you go. Maybe you married the right woman. Going back to being the girlfriend. But I traded my ex girlfriend for a daughter. That sounds weird. All right, we got some extra fancy dark. This is the highest grade of our coffee. Let's do a few of these samplers. So highest grade coffee, gonna cost more. I'm not allowed. I'm not allowed. My wife is strict. Tell that to my wife. Doesn't make a difference. She even wants me to quit coffee. She's like me when I was younger. Everything I said to her has come back to me. I told her to quit coffee. Now she's hounded me to quit coffee. It would have been better off just not saying anything. We have this medium pea berry, which is a denser bean, has a more complex flavor profile than our typical Kona bean. It happens at the tips of the trees, um, and it's a rarity. My wife is really cool too to everyone else. But we just had our kid. It's pretty typical. I got some Mac nuts, chocolate covered Mac nuts, may melt, but this is in a retail bag. I'm a retail case. I'm selling to you at my cost here at $16 if you want it. It is a premium chocolate, and I'll be here at Penguin. So if you guys want some chocolate covered Mac nuts, this is a really expensive, but even at my cost, it's expensive. So that's why I'm not selling those anymore. But I do have 16 of those left. I got a pound of chocolate tea, larger bag here. If you guys want a pound of chocolate tea, this is a full pound of it. I think I'm gonna wrap this up, guys. I'm getting a little bit tired. I'm getting a food coma. See, I shouldn't have eaten as soon as I start eating. So if you guys have any last requests, let me know. I'm gonna wrap this up. Yeah, you can see I'm starting to fall asleep. The Coca-Cola didn't help. You have Just. I appreciate it. Just has been spreading the word. Wow. I didn't get steak. I was able to find chicken, so I got Willie's hot chicken. You guys have Willie's hot chicken by you? Thanks, McShane. I need some white. The white hasn't been strong enough for me lately. Never heard of it. I guess it's a Hawaiian thing. Oh, right. I'll try different methods. All right, guys. I'm gonna send you guys off on a raid. Thank you guys for joining me today. Really appreciate it. I'll send you back to Crumb City. I'm frozen.